Hello and welcome back to our second episode. No. Hello and welcome back to our second episode of Twisted Fixer. Who are we? We are a life coaching duo with a travel addiction. And today's topic is it's never too late to be what you might have been. And it's a quote from George Eliot. And we're going to expand on this. And we're going to talk a little bit what that means to you and how it affects your life. So it's never too late to be what you might have been. What does that mean to you? So to me, that means that you can reinvent yourself at any time. It doesn't matter your age, your color, your race, whatever. It means that at any time, any given moment, that you can create yourself again. You don't like your job, you can change it. You don't like where you live, you can change it. You can change almost anything in your life right now. And in today's age, this is the perfect time to reinvent yourself. So, what does that mean to you?
Well, pretty much what you said already. I think a lot of times that there's a lot of pressure on people at an early age to figure out their entire life. You know, we go to high school and we're supposed to know by the time we're done what we want to go to college for. And then whatever you go to college for, that's supposed to be the career that you choose for the rest of your life. Now, with people living longer nowadays too, that's a lot of pressure to want to have the same focus for your entire life.
Right, I totally agree with that. Paths right now are made to be broken. It's no more of a conventional way, it's more of what your way is and how you want it to be. Most people back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, what it was then is, hey, let's, get together with someone, let's get married, let's have a child, let's live this conventional lifestyle. And that doesn't always work for most people. And now it's 2020, fast forward, and now you don't have to necessarily go to college to be something. You can be anything at any age, any time, any moment. And that, to me, with the coronavirus going on right now, you have this time to reinvent yourself. You really do. Most people are put out of their jobs. So when you're put out of your job, what's the next thing you do? You have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B, then you're stuck. You're going backwards, not forwards. And, living this conventional life where, you're working 9 to 5 every day, you don't have to do it. You want to be a musician, you be a musician. You want to be a DJ, you be a DJ. You want to own a gym, you own a gym. It's all how you perceive your own life.
I think a lot of times, too, people forget to find interests along the way. So maybe you have the career that you think you're supposed to have, and you're doing that. And you have the wife, the kids, whatever your family dynamic looks like. But, you have to remember to try to find interest, too, because you never know what interest you find could become something that becomes the next path in life, And even if you try something and you're not good at it, or you don't like it as much as you thought, that still is you taking chances with something that can lead to something else. It's never about it being a failure, even if it doesn't work out. It's you trying new things. It's the people that don't ever try to get off the path they're already on, or add new things to that they lose sight of finding new things to try.
Right, and I totally agree with that too. It's the fact is that when you're stuck, you get out of that hole. And I think I mentioned it last time, where our goal is, it is a major goal for us, and I'm scared to death, to be honest with you, is to, make our way from Florida all the way to Mexico. We plan to live there for 6 months, and we've made the proper steps to somewhat secure that. What we're going to do first is, we come up with a plan, and our plan is we pick the destination, which is a point in Mexico. And then second, what we want to do is we're going to go talk to the consulate, which is located, the closest one is in New Orleans. And if we get the okay, then we're going to go to step C.
And sometimes that's where it feels really scary. You look ahead to the big picture that down the road you're supposed to end up possibly living in Mexico longer than 6 months. And if you look at that, sometimes that's so daunting and scary, and it's easier to just back away from it completely. So, as the approach that we take with our life coaching is about trying baby steps and smaller steps. So for right now, our focus is just to get the consulate over with. We don't have to worry about anything beyond that. If everything goes well with that, then we work on the next step. At least along the way, we're taking the steps to try this as our next goal. And if that doesn't work out for some reason, then we either find another way to get there, or a new opportunity will hopefully present itself or become apparent to us, and that's what we will focus on. But it's better than just staying stuck, stagnant, and unhappy.
And I think one of the reasons that we're unhappy is because, we live in the state of Florida, and Florida is such a beautiful state. I really don't want to leave it, to be honest with you. But Florida is getting expensive for the most part. Is it easier in Mexico? Of course not. Is it easier anywhere else? Of course not. But when you lived in an area for so long, and Florida is the first place that her and I have lived for a long period of time and have made our home, and basically everything's been gentrified, and it has become this world where we're pushed aside from our city in particular. And when you go downtown now, it's all built up. It's snooty. It's khaki wearing pants people, and we just don't fit into that world. And I think that's why our life coaching is a lot different from other life coaches, because those types of people are that. We are not. We're a lot different. We're the hard knocks kind of hitting, tough people that will tell you how it really is. And we're going through the same thing that you're going through. So don't feel that you're alone in this if you're stuck in a situation. So,
and it doesn't matter if it's where you live or if it's your job. Change happens. That's inevitable. You can't prevent that from happening. So you either have to decide if you are okay with the change and want to stay living in that area or at that job, or if you want to make a change, so you have control over your destiny too. So that's where we're at, is that we don't love the place we're at as much as we used to. So we can stay here and hope it changes back for the better, or be miserable, or take our fate in our own hands and try something new.
Right. And back to my own personal feelings, that I'm scared to move forward. I'm really afraid to move forward. It freaks me the hell out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to quit my job, which I'm not happy in the first place. So really, to lose a job where I'm not making a lot of money and working really hard, 10-hour days, I've taken that all into consideration. And to be scared, I think, is normal. It's a normal feeling, and it's an uneasy feeling in the same light, because you don't want to uproot your life where you basically remain stable, and to start something new somewhere else, especially in another country, it's not easy, and we're going to have to travel pretty far to get there. And what happens when you get stuck? What happens when you get a flat tire? What happens when you run out of gas? Mommy and daddy aren't around anymore. It's all you. There's only two of us, and we're taking our pets with us, so it's going to be that much harder. But do we feel that it's worth it? Of course so. What do you think?
Oh, I completely agree. Of course, anytime you want to change the situation you're already in, it's scary. What you're already in, you may not be happy with, but at least it's comfortable. But that's not good enough for life. Life's too short to just tread water and be unhappy with the situation that you're in. So I think, sort of coming back to it's never too late to be what you might have been, is, we should be spending our entire lives still searching for who we are, because that changes throughout your life as well. What you were as a child, as in your teenager years, to in your 20s, each decade you have the opportunity to become a completely new, different person. So that's when it's time to try new things and to make changes instead of just going with the flow constantly, because you're probably not always going to be happy with how that goes.
Right. Okay. Well, ladies and germs, I hope you got a lot out of this podcast. And, really the topic is, you can reinvent your life at any time. And that quote by George Eliot just makes so much sense to us. And, I hope that you guys out there and girls have gotten, if you're feeling the same thing that we're feeling, that you get something out of this, and move forward with your lives. Don't remain stagnant, because when you remain stagnant, you're only pushing yourself back. You're not moving forward one bit. So
Yeah, exactly. We, as life coaches, aren't trying to say we have it all figured out. We're trying to give advice, but we're also saying we're going through the same things that you are. We're just willing to get out there and try them and do what we say. So when we're giving you advice, we're also reminding ourselves of the things that we want to do. So we just don't want you to think that you're alone in your desire to want a better life, whatever that looks like for you.
all right, sounds good. And stay tuned for episode 3. We're out.